let me ask you this. How many times have you ever taken out the screws of a 120 volt AC outlet and checked on the inside because you were interested? I mean, why would you do that? It's dangerous, but how many times have you ever done this because you wanted to repair it? Let's first take a step back. We are living in a pretty difficult time right now. With COVID-19 around, it has disrupted many of the things that we do in our daily lives. We cannot go out to the park and take a walk like we've always been. We have to wash our hands constantly for at least 20 seconds. But all that said, is there anything that could possibly be worse than COVID-19? Well, sure, something like this isn't too far-fetched. I mean, think about it. Do you really think that you could go a day without electricity? Our modern world is filled with a whole bunch of technology that uses electricity in one way or another. Yet, we never seem to appreciate the many wonders that electricity brings to this world. Don't believe me? Well, how about this? I can name a whole bunch of things off the top of my head. The internet would disappear, meaning that you cannot call anybody, even during an emergency. Cars would start crashing into each other because the traffic lights are dead. Your fridge would stop working, and there goes your delicious food you once paid for. And guess what? If you had money in the bank, then you wouldn't have access to it because ATMs would stop working. Heh, did you even know our plumbing systems are dependent on electricity to work properly? Your toilet doesn't flush, the tap doesn't turn on, and without electricity, there won't be anything to power the pump which is responsible for the flow of water throughout our homes. Now, this all depends on where you are at during the outage and the source of your water supply. When the power goes out, the plumbing system of a house that is serviced by city water should work for a short time, whereas it will stop working immediately in an apartment or high-rise building. Most high-rises are built with a water pumping system located in the basement. Without electricity, the pump will stop working and water will not be able to be pumped up. So already you could complain that not having electricity is literally the worst thing that can happen in this world. I mean, if electricity got shut down for a whole year, we wouldn't go on electricity for a whole entire year. Then just imagine what the whole world will look like. Like, it's probably going to be filled with city rats because there is no garbage disposal and there's nobody there to clean anything, because without electricity, you basically lose everything, because a whole bunch of our technologies anyways use electricity. And basically, you'd probably have the bubonic plague come back again because of the rats being in the city. That's their city now. So really the only complaint that I can find for COVID-19, for it being worse than not having electricity for an entire year, is the fact that we don't have to wear any masks if that happened. But do keep in mind that the rats, as I've said before, they're probably going to bring back the bubonic plague or the Black Death, so you're probably still going to have to wear a mask that way. So either way, it's sudden death. At the end of the day though, this all kind of sounds obvious. Electricity does so many things for us, and all we do is go on our smartphones, not thanking the tiny little battery powering it, or the millions and millions of tiny little transistors that form the logic gates in your smartphone. So I guess what I just want to say is thank you, electricity. Thank you for you being around, that you didn't disappear, that instead of you disappearing, there's COVID-19. I'd rather have COVID-19, as you would too. I mean, I can see how wearing a mask is easier than having to just stay at home, having not even a single thing to turn on your lights on with. For giving us our light, for giving us the internet, for giving us food, for making us fly our drones and RC cars, and for being by our side for so many years. So I guess what can you take from this? COVID-19 is way better than having electricity gone, as I already said. And there you go ahead. Go and give electricity a kiss. Actually, don't do that because it would probably shock you and then you'd have a lot of burns and then you'd probably have a faster heart rate and then your muscles would contract and then all this stuff would happen and then you'd probably die and then you'd go to hospital because of me, and you kind of get the point. If you love electricity like I do, and more sewingly, astronomy, and always wanted to learn more, then click that luminous red button called subscribe, and you'll be on your way. And as always, keep on thinking.